Around the country, right-wing reactionaries are unfortunately infiltrating school boards to stop so-called threats by the gay agenda and critical race theory. It's stories we've been covering endlessly for over a year now. Now, these people are crazy, but it turns out you can fight back. You just have to be engaged. And it turns out that a group of students in Florida specifically set a great example of how you can fight back and actually get rid of some of these bigots within these school boards, okay? Now, how did the students pull this off? Well, the teens launched a campaign called Recall Flagler County School Board. Specifically, they wanted to recall Janet McDonald and Jill Woolbright. Why? Well, a little problematic here, okay? Two of Janet McDonald's retweeted messages stated, quote, "It's easier to come out as gay than come out as a Trump supporter," end quote. Unbelievable. And this pandemic was a planned, politically motivated event to overthrow the government, end quote.
Jesus.
She also opposed recent student walkouts over the state's notorious "Don't Say Gay" law, calling them, quote, "very disappointing," and referring to those who protested as immature adolescents. Seems like she's the immature one here. People are practicing their First Amendment rights. They are peacefully assembling and voicing their political opinions. That is not immature, that's actually pretty badass, especially for teenagers. Jill Woolbright is also problematic. Woolbright made headlines last year after calling the police on a school librarian for offering books. Oh my God, a librarian offering books. With LGBTQ plus themes, and has characterized opposition to her position on the school board as the work of Satanists. Okay, all right, because you do want people who believe in mythical creatures serving on a school board. Now, the Recall group reached out to tens of thousands of voters through campaigns on various social media platforms, and guess what? Here's a post, here's an example of something they posted over on Instagram, sign waving, join Recall. It gives you all the information you need.
Look at those Satanists.
The activists also worked with the Florida Democratic Party to knock on nearly 5,000 doors. We were up against thousands of dollars from conservative super PACs, student activist Cameron Driggers said, noting that the political action committees also sent out local mailers accusing the Democratic candidates of being unsavory. The activists also made some pretty fiery attack ads against the school board members. And guess what? In the end, they won. They got those two weirdos recalled from the school board. And it shows you that if you fight hard enough, if you organize, if you put your mind to it, you can actually fight back against the moneyed interests that are trying to rig every institution to their favor in this country.
Yeah, no, it's great that they did it. And if you're in a similar position, maybe you're in high school and you're watching this, there's a not terrible chance that there's probably someone at least similarly crazy on your school board, because that's one of the battlefields that this ideological war is being fought on now. Back when I was in high school, I didn't know who was on the school board. I didn't need to know who was on the school board, at least not for things having to do with Satan or planned pandemics or anything like that. It was boring school stuff, but it's not anymore. Now, the craziest people in the country set their sights on Congress, and one of the steps along the way is to serve on school boards. And there's organizations, national conservative organizations, that are ready to help them to pour money into races where their opponent probably planned to spend $300 or something. And so you kind of need to be vigilant. You need to be on the watch for this, because as you're probably gonna point out, this is a conservative area. It's not like now they're good, the Democrats are gonna control it. Those Republicans are gonna try to run again, so you're gonna have to keep on your guard.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And I think what we've learned from the gains that were accomplished in rights for members of the LGBTQ community, I mean, not all of them, but certainly for gay marriage and stuff like that, when it comes to reproductive rights, those gains can be rolled back. And so yeah, you always have to have your guard up, and you can't take those rights for granted, because there's always some nefarious group of people who want to take those rights away.